On this conversation, it's like, well, how do we make these events better? Like for me, it was like, and then like, what do we need? You know, we caught up and we talked around like creating a steering group for this. Like it would be good to own trans tech in Australia and base it here in Queensland, but then like how do we collectively strengthen that in the global arena as well? Like how do we support, this is a cluster to form really well in Australia so that we support the people that are already doing it, but then also encourage others. And we've got some experience in ecosystem development, so it's like, well, engaging the key stakeholders and bringing them to the table, but funding also helps as well.
Absolutely. You do need that support.
Yeah. So what are the, all right, if we look at it from this event point of view, like traditionally, like how I was envisioning is to showcase and record and then, profile and showcase. Is there a better way to do this, like these events?
Oh, look, you've got to start somewhere, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
Do you think I should take that off?
It's a good look, I think. Maybe we should all get them.
Well, totally. Could have this conversation whilst we're wearing them and see how we could all get into group flow. Huh?
So cool. I think what you're doing is good for now, like bringing us together is huge. Like I only just met you and then I knew Kim for other reasons, but I've never met Henry and you, and that's huge.
Yeah.
At this point, because to have like what I've learned in my journey so far is it ends up being the people and the relationships that really matter.
Well, there's about another dozen people that have identified that, and people are starting to email me going, "Hey, I want to present as well." Like, and people intrastate, so out of outside of Queensland, want to come up. So,
is there any way that you could do one month on the Gold Coast, 1 month in Brisbane, 1 month on the Sunshine Coast, 1 month in Sydney? Is there any chance for any movement, or you don't think you get enough traction that way?
It's everything's an assumption until you do it and you get that data. What I do want to do though is, once I have more time, is to start reaching out and finding like other partners, like sponsors, that people that have communities as well, and work with them and bring their logos into this and say, hey, will you be part of this revolution that we're part of, so as to identify, profile, showcase, and bring more people into this movement.
I think you'll definitely find that as sort of transformational tech becomes more of a household sort of name. We've got fintech, you've got all those different tech. So there's something that we've kind of struggled with, like what do you hashtag here?
Yeah.
Is it age tech? It doesn't sound right. It's not quite right. Like health tech. Well, kind of not really health tech, but so the trans tech. That's awesome. I'll be honest. Before tonight, I didn't know it existed. So, but it's certainly something I'll be taking away from this. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Tell that story. Yeah.
Do you want more like interaction? Do they want to try more equipment, or like if we were in a group together? Yeah, like bringing your interventions and putting it in the systems, and we can actually trial it out. I think that'd be
awesome.
Yeah. As a group, like we could set up here. We could have 12 people, to be honest. Up front. Yeah. See what happens.
I think that's definitely a good idea, and like you mentioned, even getting Nicole on the call, so we'll set that up. Nicole Bradford, the founder of TransTech, we'll get her to be one of those seats at that table, so we'll make that happen one event soon. But also thinking like a 1 day or 2 day hackathon, like biotech, trans tech, hackathon. Biohacking is something that I'm also interested in. And it's like, well, can we have speakers and workshops, and we'll have a 1 or 2 day event where we have a bit like a startup weekend, a bit like an expo, but
I think it would be fabulous. Have we talked about the VR avatar?
I know, I so want to do that. And then Kim's like part way there already with it, with the Positive Prime, putting your photos into your slow, but like to step into that virtual world.
So people like David Goggins created Goggins. So mine is Dr. Selena B. I got rid of the ARTLETT. I also got divorced. But I'm just saying, that's my avatar, so I'm creating the brain that I want, right?
Yeah.
Which is be great to have a weekend where people come in and they create an avatar
Yeah.
And we give them all the biohacking tools so that by the time they leave, they have actually biohacked into the avatar so they can start using all of these fast tracking. It's an accelerator for biohacking.
Yeah, wow.
Because we want to actually, like I would love to see a step, you want to do human potential, right? So do I.
Yeah.
And I want to teach people you've got to trickle down your weaknesses, not go to your strengths, right?
Yeah.
So if we could just have one weekend where we could have an accelerator for biohacking, where people are actually seriously biohacking themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's how you spread it, right, out. Because then they go and show their friends and...
Yeah.
As an example, and then they're using all of this, your trans tech to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's another movement.
That's actually brilliant.
Started by, I think it is as well, absolutely. Like, just, that's like the neuroplasticity, you're reshaping over the course of a weekend. People are going to walk away changed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, I mean, like using the, I could just, how you could stick some of the APIs into your technology.
Systems that get the
so
communication
he could actually
happening
see how he
and
can
track it over a period of time as well.
Yeah.
Mikey Siegel, he started a movement called consciousness hacking,
Yeah.
so we could tap into that as well.
So this wouldn't be a guided DMT.
That's the Byron Bay weekend that follows.
There are questions on the floor.
Demo.
A question for the pardon me, for the founders. I was thinking when I went home from the last session in terms of building ecosystem and who are those key persons of influence and meeting like a lot of psychologists. Do you see them as being like an industry that's going to be disrupted and left behind, or do you see them as being facilitators? Where do you think they sit in amongst this ecosystem?
I think it's like everything. You'll get the, like in this room, 20% are just going to do it, 20% are going to think about doing it. It's like reading a self-help book, and then 80%, or what's that, 60% won't do anything.
Maths problem.
Yeah, I know. I need to do math training. But psychology, I honestly believe that, and we don't know, right, but neuroscience, big data, technology are going to have to disrupt. Mental health is a disaster. And you cannot tell me that it's working. It has to be disrupted. It's $1 trillion to $2 trillion industry, and I can tell you all the VCs that I talked with at this event I was at last October, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for CBT online, digital online. They're not looking for doctors going to homes. They're looking for a disruptor like Airbnb to hotels in the mental health space. And I see it because I've done it for myself. And I've got a whole lab dedicated to it now and you see it, right? Because you've done it for yourself, and you've done it for yourself, and it's neuroplasticity, because you can change your brain. And it's just now working out how can we help everyone, because everyone's got different experiences coming to the table with different things, and some things will work for some people.
So they're not a sector you're seeking out to bring to events, you think they'll just be disrupted, is that what, is that the consensus?
I mean, if I'm going to add as well, I actually have a virtual psychologist in the building, right?
Yeah.
A company called Virtual Psychologists, and they pretty much provide online mentoring services. But what they do as well, things like they want to look at gratitude journals, they want to look at different other avenues as well. Because at the end of the day, everyone
gratitude journals.
But yet they're still all trained psychologists as well. You know what I mean? So there's difference. I think there's a merging of both worlds as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think we'll know how it'll be disrupted, to be honest, but it will be disrupted.
Yeah. And the nature of disruption is you don't necessarily see it coming.
Blindsided.
Who are the obvious people that, like as members or whatever we are, ambassadors, patrons, like who are the people we're seeking out day to day in the next 4 weeks to get to the next event? And I know what my first thought.
I think it has to be early adopters, people who will trial, who also then will advocate more trial, because nothing ever works unless it's used. Right? And at the end of the day, we're all founders of businesses and we all need revenue, and no one ever generates any revenue unless real human beings are engaged, right? So we need...
I mean, with stuff, technology like this, perhaps to get the psychologists on board, it might have to become a part of their curriculum, or a unit that they have to do, which is, I don't know, some future tech, or I don't know, perhaps it's an elective, I don't know.
Well, my dean told me there is no such thing as neuroplasticity.
Right, okay, well there you go. So there's some pretty fundamental changes that are going to have to be made.
Yeah, but it's just like you were saying, I forget who it was, I think the staff in the retirement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
because it's and I was like that.
Yeah.
I was developing drugs, I was a pharmacist, I was medically trained. I did not believe in neuroplasticity either.
No. Leopard
So it
doesn't
took me
change
a
the
lot
spots.
to change my own mind. So I'm just saying, it just does, it's one of those things, it's like couch surfing was before Airbnb, right? It was really small and there was just the early adopters, and now everyone uses Airbnb kind of thing, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's that 25-75 thing you were talking about?
We had the same, like with golf, the coaches were they were the biggest hurdle to overcome. We did it from the ground up. Like, did customers forced enough change in the industry to say that they wanted to use this tech? So we came in from the bottom up instead of top down in that market. So sometimes
We've done the same.
Yeah, you can come from either end. Yeah.
Cool. Conscious of time, so we might just have one more, just what piece of advice or what would you like to see moving forward as part of this transformational technology sort of Meetup, broader ecosystem, TransTech Australia, you think?
It'd be great to get people maybe that are like angel investors, VCs and government people together with us to help on the funding side.
Cool.
And work out a way that we can collaborate more effectively together so that we can synergize elements, because actually four brains in a room is much smarter than one individually housed separately.
And that's why I think Andrew's role as the storyteller, or helping us tell the stories, is really important. So we're capturing this, and we're going to start telling the stories about transformational technologies in Queensland and in Australia.
Yeah.
Cool. Henry?
I think, just the collaboration in maybe workshops style things. Yeah, if we can start doing some of those, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. Any ideas like that, we'll just feed them up and we'll make them happen. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just playing on that, the United Front, I guess, and just at the education side of it, getting people understanding what transformational tech is, and a big part of that will be, is financial drivers, getting the angel investors, VCs on board, and I mean, a transformational tech accelerator.
Yeah, well,
let's get some cash together and make it happen.
It's not ridiculous to think that, and that's what my play has been, is to get this initial expert in residence grant is what it is, kind of thing, and work on building these relationships with these key stakeholders, identifying where the entrepreneurs are, doing this sort of work, building the audience, and then from there go, all right, well, this is where we were, now 9 months on, now this is where we are, like there's something happening here, so it makes it easier to raise that funding for that accelerator.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be a really concerted effort towards educating the media. We have to actually raise awareness and whet their appetite and essentially have people interested in what this is, so that there's a carrier effect as well. As the light gets shone on transformative technologies, the people who are involved in the ecosystem will essentially benefit.
#TransTech.
TransTech Queensland. I think the beauty of this is you all individually are solving
we should do TransTech Oz.
problems.
TransTech Oz.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, TransTech Oz.
TransTech.
Well, there is TransTech Global. No, I definitely think we need to go with TransTech Oz.
I'm totally down for TransTech Oz. But you guys are all solving problems individually that are really important problems to be solved right now. So they're good news stories in the media, and we just need to make sure we're using this hashtag or this brand, part of TransTech Oz, and that's going to allow us to bring in more resources to help.
Brisbane's the city council and the government's got to focus on trying to become that hub, right? Like a startup hub.
Yeah, see, California is Queensland, but it's still the United States. People look towards the US. There are some people who are trying to say that Colorado is California, but it's not yet. Queensland is it inside Australia. It's just the headquarters of where TransTech lives. That doesn't mean that it's not also Melbourne and Adelaide and Perth and
I'm totally down for the roadshow thing, but it's something to just be explored as we move into it. Cool.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you so much for your
time,
everybody. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.